Good morning everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the topic Unified Process Approach in Object Oriented Analysis and Design. Subject code is CS8592. So the Unified Software Development Process or Unified Process is a popular iterative and incremental software development process framework. So both the words are very important in this definition. One is iterative and another one is incremental. So the unified software development process or unified process is a popular iterative and incremental software development framework. Each iteration results in an increment which is a release of the system, that is product that contains added or improved functionality, that is with enhancements compared with the previous release, that is previous product release. So each iteration results in a new product, right, with enhancement. In the unified process, use cases are used to capture the functional requirements. In this case, use case is nothing but scenario representation. It means it explains what are all the functionalities in the particular system. Each iteration takes a set of use cases or scenarios from requirements all the way through implementation, test and deployment. So in each phase, that is starting from requirements analysis, design phase, implementation and up to till the testing and deployment process, each iteration takes a set of use cases, right? So unified process is architecture centric. One of the most important deliverable of the process is the executable architecture baseline, which is created during the elaboration phase. So the baseline is nothing but architecture, executable architecture baseline, which is very important in the case of elaboration phase that we will see in detail. It acts as a foundation for remaining development process. So here you can see the project lifecycle diagram. In this, all the four phases are mentioned here: inception phase, elaboration phase, construction phase, and finally transition phase. So the x-axis time is plotted and y-axis resources are plotted, right? Inception, elaboration, construction, transition. So in the inception phase, a justification or business case for the project is arrived. Then next, the scope for the project and boundary conditions are established, and the key requirements, right, and use cases are defined. One or more candidate architecture are framed. Then what are all the risks involved in the system? They are all identified. And finally, a project schedule and a cost estimate is prepared. Next phase is elaboration. During the elaboration phase, the project team is expected to capture a healthy majority of the system requirement. So the main emphasis of the elaboration phase is capturing the healthy requirements, healthy system requirements, right? Next is validation of the system architecture using the risk factors. And common processes undertaken in this phase include the creation of number 1, the use case diagram, number 2, the conceptual diagram and package diagram. The architecture is validated primarily through the implementation of an executable architecture baseline which is created in the first phase, initial phase, inception phase, right? So the architecture is validated using the architecture baseline. By the end of the elaboration phase, the system architecture must have stabilized, right? And the executable architecture baseline must demonstrate that the architecture will support the key system functionality, exhibit the right behavior in terms of performance, scalability and cost. So the final deliverable in the elaboration phase is nothing but a plan which includes the cost and schedule estimate for the construction phase, right? So the final deliverable is nothing but one is cost and another one is schedule estimate. Then next one is construction phase. In this phase, the system is built on the foundation laid in the elaboration phase. So system features are implemented in this phase and each iteration results in executable release version of the product. The next one is common UML, that is unified modeling language diagrams are used during this phase. Include the activity diagram, sequence diagram and collaboration diagram, state transition and iteration overview diagrams. Finally, the transition phase. In the transition phase, the system, so the developed system is deployed to the target user. Feedback received from the initial release may result in further refinement. So whenever we develop a system, we want feedback about the system, how the system is working, right? That is very, very important. So getting feedback, after getting feedback from the user, that is customer end user, once again the system is refined, right? In several iterations during the transition phase. The transition phase also includes system conversions and user training. So the final thing is user training. The user training is very, very important. So creating system manual, user manual and user training are important portions of the transition phase. Finally, the product is released with enhancement. So once again the diagram, unified process diagram, which consists of inception phase, elaboration phase, construction phase and transition phase, right? With time plotted in x-axis and resources plotted in y-axis. So any clarification you can ask now. Hope you enjoy the video, right? Thank you so much.